The first thing we're hearing from many people is our assets are down, so our giving is going to be down. And while I completely understand the inclination to respond in that way, the truth is it's a simple response to a symptom or to a tactical problem. Assets are down, we give less. But the truth is the only thing that changed in our lives isn't that assets are down. We elected the first African American president. The global economy is completely restructured. The ecological crisis that we're facing won't be resolved simply in America. It will have to be resolved in India and China. And I could go through the list of ways the world has changed in the last year, 5 years, 10 years. And so simply saying we're going to keep doing what we've been doing, but we're going to do it at 4/5 the scale is not really an answer to the pressing problems of the day. We believe, and it's what we did internally at the Jewish Funds for Justice, that it's time to rethink missions. It's time to step back and ask ourselves, what are we really here to do? And be willing to take the risk that comes with that. So we've had 3 offices since our mergers over the last 4 years. We'll be closing 2 of the offices. This is a gut-wrenching decision for the board and for the staff leadership in the organization. But our decision was that it's time to make real changes, that having those 2 offices weren't serving our purpose in this new moment. Instead of being anchored into 2 local cities, we needed to free up the resources to move our voice and our message to Washington. That was not on the table for us a year ago, but the times have changed, the receptivity in Washington has changed, and there's an opportunity to take our local innovations to the national scale. That will mean cuts. It'll also mean a big shift in how we organize ourselves, how we deploy our resources. That kind of change, that scale of change, that can be very hard. It can be gut-wrenching, it can be emotional, but that's what's required of us. Not saying we're just going to do a little less and weather the storm. Many of us will weather the storm. But the question for us as a people, isn't how well do we weather the storm? It's how well do we thrive in uncertain times? And thriving doesn't mean making simple cuts. It means questioning mission. It means revisiting core questions. And ultimately, I think it means saying we're not going to just accept sacred cows. We're going to actually take them on directly, and we're going to ask ourselves, there can be no idols here. We have to ask ourselves, what are the things that we can uniquely do best, and how do we go about doing them? And that's what I would hope foundations would take the moment to do. Not make the simple cut, but make the more complex choice.